Alright, well, it's week 2, day 2, and I haven't got to read to self yet, so I'll come back to this tonight. I have a chapter book that I'm starting on, but I haven't started it yet. I got to meet with Celia, but this morning I'm going to go over the science reading with you. And so if you need some help reading or you just want to go over it with me, that is great. Here we go. I'm going to zoom in on this one. Still can't believe that doctors use leeches to heal people even nowadays. It's kind of interesting. That's the history. Actually thought it was a piece of bacteria, which is kind of funny. Make sure for the science, you're on the science day 2 part. Okay, fungi. There are many different types of fungi. Some, like mushrooms, look like plants, but the microscopic type of harmful fungi that invade our bodies cause irritating common infections like ringworm and athlete's foot. Ringworm causes worm-like red, itchy, red rings to appear on the skin. Athlete's foot fungi attack the bottoms of feet, an area between the toes, causing the irritated skin to itch, crack, and peel. Ooh. Protozoa. Protozoa are simple, single-celled organisms that often live in streams, ponds, and dirty water. We need to be careful about the water that we drink. If protozoa get into your body, they can cause nausea, vomiting, and mouth infections. Ew. This one says mosquitoes can transfer disease like malaria and West Nile viruses from person to person. I'm going to put a star by that because that's going to be one of the facts I write down. One serious protozoa infection is spread by saliva from the bite of an infected mosquito. This protozoa microbe enters the person's blood through the bite and causes a disease called malaria. I don't really think we have this in the United States as much. I think that this is more found in a lot of other countries, but not necessarily typical in the United States. Malaria occurs most often in areas that have hot tropical climates, so no, we do not qualify. This infection causes a high fever, weakness, and delirium, and it kills 1 million people every year. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. 1 million people a year, and they're worried about the coronavirus? Yeeks. Holy stars. I know I've seen videos of nets and stuff that they put over beds. So like if this is your bed in another country and it's really hot, they have these like nets that hang over your bed so you can like sleep without getting eaten to death by these things, but mainly because they can get you sick. How do microbes spread infection? Think about the times when you have been in a crowded place near someone who is sneezing or coughing. Oh my gosh, this is just like right now. You know they are spreading germs and you wish they'd stay home. Most diseases are spread by our contact with an infected or sick person. Many infection-causing microbes live in body fluids such as saliva, blood, and nasal mucus. These fluids make it easy for microbes to transfer an infection from one person to another. Besides the germs that are coughed into the air, you can pick up germs you handle if you handle something that has been touched and contaminated by a sick person. There are also several harmful microbes that can infect an insect or an other animal first. Then that infection can be passed to a human. We can get rabies from an infected mammal, such as dogs, raccoons, and skunks. And salmonella may be on chickens, birds, fish, and reptiles. Besides malaria, infected mosquitoes can also give us West Nile virus. Sick birds can transfer a serious avian flu, and Lyme's disease comes from a bite of an infected tick. Wow. So many different ways to get sick. What was the one that I was going to underline? Birds can transfer serious avian flu. I also remember when we were doing our food handlers that you can get this salmonella from other ways too. Okay, Outbreaks and epidemics. Disease can spread quickly. One sick person can infect dozens, and dozens of sick people can then affect hundreds more. It's even possible for people to infect others long before they even know that they themselves are sick. A person who shows no signs of the disease, but who still infects others, is sometimes referred to as a healthy carrier and can be hard to find, isolate, and treat. That's a good fact to write down. When a small group of people in the same place all get the same disease, it's called an outbreak. So that'd be like in Maupin, or even in Oregon. When an outbreak of disease rapidly spreads to a larger number of people, it's called an epidemic. So like Washington and Oregon. When an epidemic quickly spreads to infect larger groups of people around the world, it's called a pandemic. So that's what we're doing. That's what's going on right now. A local outbreak of disease is no longer expected to stay in one place. Disease-carrying microbes are hitchhikers, and they go wherever people go. Modern transportation, such as buses, planes, trains, airplanes, carry both people and their germs quickly. Sick travelers can infect any person they encounter during their trip. Then the people they just infected can start a separate outbreak in another place. It's probably why they don't want traveling to go on. Fighting microbes with vaccines. Some people I saw today were wondering how long it'll take to come up with a vaccine for the COVID-19. I'm going to look that up. No one likes to get shots, but they are important. A vaccine treatment is a way to plan ahead to prevent disease. The job of a vaccine is to help build up our immune system's ability to recognize and fight off a disease-causing microbe. Many of these powerful vaccines are made from weakened tiny bits of the harmful virus or bacteria itself. The idea of using a virus to prevent the disease, or to use a mild disease to prevent a worse disease, was first thought of about 200 years ago. Really? That long ago? Wow. In England, Dr. Edward Jenner treated many farm workers who caught a mild pox disease called cowpox. There's also chicken pox. I wonder if there's like sheep pox. He also treated several cases of deadly smallpox. Why not big pox? Anyway, interesting. Over time, Dr. Jenner noticed that people who had once been sick with cowpox never caught the other pox disease, smallpox. But why? Smallpox is one of the deadliest diseases in the world. Really? I did not know that. And it is highly infectious. Epidemics of smallpox killed many thousands of people. I think I read about that, especially when the Europeans came over to the United States and infected many native people. Oh, I forgot to read that other part. I'll go back. Oops. Did you know when Europeans and Africans carried small microbes to the Americas, none of the Native Americans have ever been exposed to this disease. They had no immunity to it. As a result, smallpox killed millions. In South and Central America, 9 out of 10 people, oh my gosh, 9 out of 10 people died. Native. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Gosh. That's just horrible. 4 groups of microbes. Bacteria. Bacteria are everywhere and on everything. They are tough. Some can thrive in barren ice, others in extreme heat. As with other microbes, some bacteria are good for us and some aren't. There are more types of bacteria than there are types of any other organism on the earth. I like that fact. But by sheer population count, bacteria rule. One type of good bacteria lives in our intestines. So there is good types. This is good to know. It helps to break down food and digest the food that we eat, and we couldn't live without it. Nasty strep throat bacteria can cause a painful sore throat, a fever, a headache, an upset stomach, and tender swollen glands in the neck. White spots of pus appear on the back of a throat. Nasty. Scientists sometimes grow bacteria on purpose so that they can study them. Here is a strep throat bacteria grown in a dish filled with liquid that provides food in a safe environment. Ooh, do not touch that. Food poisoning can make us very sick as well. It's usually caused by harmful bacteria that live on or in many uncooked foods. Cooking food to the right temperature kills the bacteria, but there are other bacteria that live on surfaces where we prepare foods every day and on our hands. Often, food poisoning often causes an upset stomach, vomiting, and diarrhea. Salmonella is the bacteria responsible for many cases of food poisoning. Oh, that's what we were talking about earlier in the bird flu. Fun food facts. Several types of bacteria help change milk into yogurt and sour cream. These bacteria eat lactose or milk sugar and release lactic acid, which curdles the milk and makes it more solid. The lactic acid gives yogurt and sour cream a tang, sour flavor. Oh, I love making yogurt. Viruses. Viruses can be difficult to get rid of. A virus can invade the cells of people or other animals and spread quickly from cell to cell, causing an infection. Viruses not only make people sick, some viruses can cause death, and sometimes a virus can avoid detection by our watchful immune system. A virus has the ability to mutate or change its identity to avoid being noticed. That's crazy. This ability to change makes it more difficult for the virus to stop. The flu, chickenpox, HIV, and the common cold are each caused by a virus. Scientists are looking at ways to use viruses to help people get healthy too. Viruses take control of the cells they invade and they tell them what to do. If a cell started multiplying out of control, a scientist might be able to use a virus to tell the cell to slow down its growth. This treatment is being studied in a way to fight cancer, a disease which cells grow out of control.